Listen.
I was supposed to do a video today about Jake Paul. I was gonna do a video about how he's contributing to the collapse of civilized society, but I don't want to. I was supposed to show you that really cringy clip of his dad kissing a young blindfolded girl, but I really don't want to. Jake Paul blows, and not in like a fun Ed Gein way. At least Ed Gein had some discernible skills. Like, technically, he was a very talented seamstress. As far as I know, Jake Paul has no discernible skills, and so I have no reason to talk about him. Everyone said all the things. Do I need to say the things? You've said all the things. Jake Paul isn't worth our time. Does that make me irrelevant? Glory be, I hope so. So instead, I'm gonna talk about something somehow even darker than Jake Paul.
Net neutrality.
It may sound boring, but trust me, if you love the internet just as much as I do, it's not. So listen to Auntie Rachel while she tells you about the scary, scary internet. What is it? In 2015, net neutrality rules were established to, this is redundant, neutralize the internet. Very basically, this means that all content, all sites, all traffic on the internet is to be treated the same. That protects you from company interest. So if you are signed up with Time Warner Cable and Time Warner Cable has a professional disagreement with Netflix, Time Warner Cable doesn't have the right to affect your streaming capabilities on Netflix. So if there were no net neutrality, if Time Warner Cable and Netflix got into a little tiff, they could technically say, well, we're gonna stream Netflix 3 times slower if you don't pay X amount of money, which is wrong. Time Warner Cable doesn't have the right to slow down access to Netflix just because of this behind-the-scenes professional disagreement. Net neutrality also means that your internet provider can't charge you additional costs for certain services. All traffic must be treated the same. This guarantees a stable fee, meaning if you pay $50 a month for your internet, you're not gonna pay $50 plus $40 for faster Netflix. You're gonna pay $50 because that's your internet. This guarantees a stable fee and steady service no matter who your provider is. All this is accountability. The corporations who essentially own your right to the internet must be held accountable for the services they provide. Bitch. Why do we need it? Without internet neutrality rules, corporations have the ability to monopolize your internet access. This puts companies like Google, hi Dad, at a massive advantage because they can afford additional costs and services that would inevitably arise if net neutrality were abolished. You may be like, wait, I don't care. But yeah, no, you do, or you should. The idea that the internet goes to the highest bidder is a terrifying one. Think about what the internet is. It's, in my opinion, the most powerful weapon in the entire world. It's grown into something we need to manage, not employ. The idea of a company owning the whole internet should scare you. That means that companies control what you see, why you see it, and who is showing it to you. In my apocalyptic end-time brain, that leads to revisionist history. They can show you whatever they want. It doesn't need to be true as long as it serves the mothership's ultimate plan. A lot like Donald Trump. If you're the president, you can just kind of say whatever you want. I mean, you're not supposed to be able to, but alas, here we are in this predicament. If there's one president of the internet, that means that that one person, that one human brain is in charge of what information. You write your research paper for school, one person is in charge of giving you that information, and that should scare you. Also, it'll make your internet
hella slow.
I know y'all are too young to remember dial-up, but we used to have to plug in our internet into a phone line and wait for the line to be clear, then wait for the internet to, I don't know, heat up. It sounds a lot like this. And it took like go make yourself an Eggo then check back amount of time. It took way too long to just open the internet. So imagine, this is your life now. Even though it sounds ancient, it wasn't even that long ago. Now imagine every time your favorite YouTuber, is it me? Posts a video. It would take you 15 minutes to stream it. Nobody is worth that. I am not worth that. Don't settle for that. Well, what's happening, Rachel? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Trump is ruining the internet. He already ruined Twitter. After 2 years of good internets, the Trump-appointed FCC chairman Ajit Pai put forth a proposal that would repeal the net neutrality rules. Pai's argument, if you can even call it that, is if these rules are repealed, the internet providers will have to be transparent about the services they offer. Well, isn't that sweet? Isn't that so nice that, like, you know, if this rule just happens to not become a rule anymore, everyone's just gonna all of a sudden be kind and forthcoming with information. If your internet provider decides that Netflix is being mean and they want to charge more for the service, it's up to the customer to decide whether or not to buy it. First of all, how do they account for all of the people this will affect? Ajit, you're telling me that Spectrum, who accidentally charged me $300 last month because of a typo, is going to be fully transparent with me? When? Will they call me to let me know that mom and dad are fighting, so I need to pay $50 more a month in order to upload my YouTube video? In order to do my job, you're gonna make me pay you more money to do my job? Well, no, Pajit. I said his name wrong. It's Ajit. Oh, I'm pissed. Okay, I get it. I talk about conspiracies on the internet. My job is to be skeptical of large companies. But this isn't skepticism. A major catalyst for net neutrality was telecom providers' literal criminal lack of transparency. In 2014, Comcast was caught slowing streaming services to Netflix and putting regular stream speeds behind a paywall. Same thing happened with at&t. In 2014, at&t started a sponsored data program that provided special data plan to apps that paid them. What? Meaning at&t was like, hey Tinder, if you pay me $2 million, I'll make sure that your app doesn't use as much data on the at&t network. So any app able to pay this threat, essentially from at&t, was given a better opportunity to succeed. That is the internet mafia. The issues far surpass business. It's about human rights. I believe the internet is a right. You should have the right to access all information the same as anyone. If you start to create a class system on the internet, you're inciting cyber war. If we start auctioning off access to information, we'll literally become Gotham. This is just another example of how little empathy these guys have. Saying, oh, no problem, if you want it, you just pay for it. That's not a solution. That's classism. It's a monopolization of information. It's another way to separate us. Only rich people get to have all the information. No, you'll have access to the same information, but if you have $2 billion, you're gonna have it 15 years before the rest of us. Oh, man. The problem is, I don't see this going over well. As someone who has peered into the dark web just a tiny bit, I can promise some Mr. Robot level shit will go down if access to the internet is compromised. Now, when the cyber revolution does happen, don't use this video as evidence to indict me. I can't code. Yet. Equal access to online information is your right. I'm including the link for Battle for the Net in the description. Write your reps, demand internet equality. It's that simple. I want you to have the internet you want. If that includes Jake Paul, great. That's your right. You deserve internet equality. Every day, bro. Do you get it? It's a Jake Paul reference. Know your enemy. You need to know that this is happening. This is the second time that net neutrality is being compromised. This is the second time that people have tried to repeal net neutrality in 2 years. All I'm asking is think why. Why is it so important for Donnie Boy that you don't have equal access to the internet? Why is it so important that Spectrum or Time Warner Cable owns 1/3 of the internet? Why is it so important that companies own your intellectual property? And if you start to think about that, maybe you'll start to understand that the internet is a right and it's not something that you just pay for. It's not something that your parents just pay for every month. It's a right, and you should treat it as such. And if it doesn't happen, go to the dark web. Just DM me. I'll teach you how to use Onion. I'll teach you how to use Tor. I got you. I'm not gonna stand for this. Thank y'all for watching. We're including the link in the description for Battle for the Net. Please do write your reps. Let me know in the comments. Be like, yo, Rachel, I wrote my reps. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm really proud of you, girl. I'm really proud of you, boy. I'm really proud of you, non-binary. The internet's for everybody. Equality. No. Okay, I'm good.